Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner. This guy is the Canaan Avalon Nano 3, and this thing is an amazing BTC solo miner. But wait, it just got a new company. We're going to talk all about the new products from Canaan, but first, let's spin that intro. Again, this is the Canaan Avalon Nano 3. We've got a couple of them running behind us. We've bought 4 of these guys. Of course, we're going to be giving this one away, brand new, still in the box with the power supply. But before we talk about the giveaway, let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is, these things have been amazing. I've got one running on Bitcoin Cash over here, one running on Bitcoin. They boast that they do up to 4 terahash a second, and they run up to 140 watts. That is on full power mode. There are 3 power modes. Of course, you got low, medium, and high. The medium has been what I've been running mine on since I got them, and I've had 0 issues. I have heard people having issues by running them on high. The internal components may get too hot, too toasty. So my advice, run them on medium. If you have picked up one of these, run it on medium mode. Just let it run until the wheels fall off. But I digress. The reason for today's video is this is no longer the one and only. They have added a brand new model. This got a new little baby brother. How cute. I just want to pinch its cheeks. It is the Avalon Nano 3S. That's right. The S stands for super amazing, better product than this one. So yeah, anyway, it is the Avalon Nano 3S, and then they have a completely new product as well called the Avalon Nano Mini. So this one is very exciting too, and completely different than this guy. The Nano S is actually just a better, more efficient version of the Nano. So we're going to jump over onto our remote session. We're going to go and show you what the 2 new products are. We're going to talk the specs, the features, the price, and of course, whether or not you should buy them. But before we do, let's talk about today's giveaway. Today's giveaway includes not only this amazing Avalon Nano 3 with power supply, brand new, unopened, but also a slew of other amazing items. If you're unfamiliar, this is giveaway number 5 that we're now running into. We've done a weekly giveaway for 5 straight weeks now, and we have selected at least 10 people, up to 12 people per giveaway. Check out the original giveaway video up above where it goes into detail. It shows you a lot of the items that we're giving away, but not the full assortment, of course. Giving away some pretty nice things, and we've already given away some pretty nice things. So make sure to join. And how do you join? Altered, I want to get involved. How do I get some of that free loot? First and foremost, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Second, you must like the video. And third, and most importantly, you need to comment down below with the key phrase. Today's key phrase, let's go with Altered Nano. Let's go with Altered Nano. 2 words, Altered Nano. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and follow me for future content. So that is the giveaway. Jump in, get your comments in, and now let's go hop over and look at these new devices. Let's go. All right, so first and foremost, let's go to the main site. This is Canaan.io/Avalon Home. And right here on the main first page, we see the new devices. There is the Avalon Mini 3, and it says from $8.99. So that is their base price for everyone involved, $8.99, and then of course any kind of markups, any kind of shipping, redistributing fees, all of that jazz. So let's just kind of glance down through the site here. There is the Nano 3S listed secondly, and then they start talking about why they launched it, yada, yada, yada. But what we want to do is we want to learn more about each of these devices. So let's jump into the Mini 3 first and foremost. Ooh, let me move me out of the way because this is actually kind of a cool website here. All right, so here it is, the new site. It says, this is cool. We got to show you this is cool. And as you scroll down your mouse wheel, this is the future. This is Avalon Mini 3. A miracle in the cold winter, the charm of blockchain. So yeah, that's a cool little intro on the top of their site. So let's scroll down and look at it. It's a household baseboard heater that can generate Bitcoin. Home should always be the warmest place, whether you're alone or with your loved ones. It's the goal of the Avalon Mini 3 to let you and your family enjoy meals, entertainment, conversations, and sleep without worry in the warm winter days. With a heating power of 800 watts and an active silent fan design, it only takes 10 minutes to make your home as warm as spring. Ooh. Yes, who doesn't want a spring warm house in the winter? And if you don't have to worry about a high heating cost at all, because the Avalon Mini 3, equipped with 64 4 nanometer process computing power chips, can provide a compute power of 37.5 terahash and continuously generate Bitcoin. Very great marketing. I gotta admit, that is very good marketing. And they're providing real world utility, and that's a lot of things that a lot of blockchains don't, and a lot of devices and miners don't provide any utility other than simply trying to generate fake cryptocurrency, fake money, digital hypothetical cash. So if we scan down a little farther, it actually has their calculations on the bottom. And of course, they're using a crazy low 8 cents per kilowatt hour. And it's telling you that if you're running 8 cents per kilowatt hour, it's only going to cost you $46.08 to run per month, but you're going to earn $59.18 worth of Bitcoin at the current value. Again, take calculators with a grain of salt, because that's if the market doesn't change, and that may be not the reality of the numbers that you're looking at. And so realistically, I'm using 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So let's look and see what that does. That would say that it's going to cost me $69, and I'm going to earn almost $59 worth of Bitcoin, which if you're cutting $30 off of your heating bill per month running this, then you've still technically made $20 profit per month on this. And then if you're mining and holding, then it even could be greater. And what if you're solo mining and you hit a block? Then it would, grow exponentially. They are giving you the pool mining here. So they're saying that you should pool mine with this, and I tend to agree. But this is straight Bitcoin. They're just only giving you the number for Bitcoin. So if you're trying with another SHA-256, which of course is an option, or Bitcoin Cash, or Digibytes, or any of the other SHA-256 algorithms, your results may vary. Bitcoin's usually the most lucrative to pool mine, and that's why it's usually the one that they calculate. So yeah, there is just the base look of it. Let's scroll down and see some of these options. It's telling you about the LED screen that has an auto light sensing adjustment, and that's interesting. It says you can actually add custom pictures or animated images. So they don't really show you very good pictures on that, but that'll be interesting to see how that functions. It's just saying that it'll give you quick heat, that you can control the different temperatures from your app. They all run off the Avalon app, which is actually a pretty sleek design. It runs on both iPhone and on Android. They have a night mode that's extra quiet so that it doesn't bother you when you sleep. And then they're saying that it is it's a safe device because it has the auto shut off like many space heaters have, that if it falls over, that it will auto shut off. So that's a great feature to have. It's made out of aluminum. The body is aluminum. It is optimized for performance. Security is a must. LED screen, power button, air inlet, switch, safety buckle, and a filter. It does have a filter on the bottom, which is kind of nice. They show the updated Avalon app, which is a little different, but not greatly different from the app that I'm using for the Nano 3. Actually, over here it shows the Nano 3 onto the right side. So there's the Nano 3. So that's interesting. I didn't catch this initially, but we'll talk about that in a second on the Nano 3S. And then they have a way to scan to get to it. Here's where it's boxed. They're talking about why they launched it. Again, the price, the specs, 37 terahash, has the USB access, 800 watts. Again, that's on high mode. It gives the length in millimeters, and the weight, which we'll discuss. We already discussed the actual size, but it's about 30 inches long, 8.5 inch tall, 4 inches deep, and a whopping 18.5 pounds. It's a big boy. It's not some little dinky heater. So yeah, there it is. That's the Mini 3. It's pretty nifty. It's pretty cool. I'm hoping it is what it lives up to the hype that I am helping to generate here, because I really think this is a great innovation. So now let's check the Nano 3S and see if there's anything radically different. So let's load their site, and there it is. So right off the bat, a key difference that I can see just with my own eyes is that they're only given black and white, 2 options. The original Nano 3 had 5 different colors. You had pink, midnight blue, yellow, plus the white and the black, or rather the gray and the black. And another one that's really glaringly obvious is I don't see the RGB, man. Where's the RGB? They cut out the cool lighting on this one. I assume that's to cut cost. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I was a fan of the cool light because it made it kind of like a night light as well, give you that cool RGB glow, and we know that RGB adds hash rate, so that's gone. They do have a USB socket now that wasn't present on the previous model. It does have, right off the top, the screen is a upgraded LED screen. So let's scan down on this thing. It's another portable small heater that can generate Bitcoin, yada, yada, yada. So here's the difference. It says that it's more optimized design inside and out, bringing you not only a stylish, sharp appearance, more comfortable and intelligent hot air, but also new generation of computing power chips. With the same power, the computing power is increased by as much as 50%, which makes sense. They're saying 6 terahash compared to 4 terahash on 140 watts. So yeah, scroll down a little more. We've got the new circular LED screen that has more display and more information. A dust filter, the other one didn't have. There is the USB port that you can plug into a LAN adapter, Wi-Fi adapter. Rather, it's a Wi-Fi module that can also have LAN access. And then a regular, it's the same. It's a safety integrated air outlet design that's the same as the other. But they did say that they improved the adapter, which is a need, because they've had issues with the adapter, especially running it 24/7, running it at 140 watts at full power. You've had a number of people tell me that they've failed, and I've seen people comment on other videos where they failed. I haven't had one fail, but I'm also always running them on medium power mode, and I've had 0 issues on any of my Nano 3s. So let's scroll down a little more pictures. You got your LED screen, your power button, your air outlet, the removable dust filter, USB port, the app again, and yeah, that's about it. And it's coming from 249, 6 terahash USB, new adapter, and the specs. So there are the 2 devices. Let's look at the main places you can buy them. At the very top, or right here over on the side, there is a buy button. And if you click that, it's giving you some different options of where you can buy. Number one, and first and foremost, Indiegogo. That's the crowdsourcing site, and that's the one that I purchased from, and that's where it first launched. That's the first place that's going to get it. Should be the first place that gets your orders. Some of these other options, Miner Pals, I'm not familiar with. The OEMG Miner, I'm not experienced with. The Mineshop.eu, that's the other one that I am very familiar with in Jingle Mining. I've worked with both of them. I've had only good things to say about both, especially Mineshop.eu. So in North America, it doesn't list Bitcoin Merch, but Bitcoin Merch is another one that I've dealt with that will be carrying it. So let's go look at the listings on Mineshop real quick, and then on Bitcoin Merch as well. So Mineshop, the website mineshop.edu, and then we have the different devices. There is the regular Nano 3. Here is the Nano 3S, 6 terahash, and then the Mini 3. So it is right here. Let's take a look at it real quick and see what the listing looks like. $999.87 excludes VAT, and that's not in USD, obviously. So you may have to pay included or excluded pricing for any kind of tariffs or anything like that. And then they've got about the same pictures as the main website. Nothing special to see here. This is a good picture I didn't see on the other side, and it shows the dust filter on the back where it comes right off and looks pretty easy to blow out. So that's nice. Oh, that's actually on the bottom. That's underneath of the feet. So yeah, that makes sense. So it pulls the air up from the bottom, up under the feet. So make sure that's not obstructed by like thick, heavy shag carpet or something like that. Make sure that's free flowing and then easy to blow out. The other one that they have listed is the Nano 3S. Let's take a look at it. It's funny that they're listing them as discounted, but they're brand new. So I'm guessing what they're doing is that's the introductory price, and then as time goes, the price is actually going to go up, because that's what happens on Indiegogo. As you get to different batches and time rolls on, you're going to pay more. So early adopters always get it cheaper. So yeah, there it is, and they have all of the same exact pictures. Let's look at Bitcoin Merch. So on Bitcoin Merch is just bitcoinmerch.com, and then we searched for Avalon, and then right here it is. So it is a whopping $14.99.99 USD. That's US dollars, $14.99. The great thing about them, though, is they do take PayPal. They take additional payment methods. I didn't mention this with the Indiegogo, but it is credit card, and it seems kind of picky on certain credit cards. It didn't work with my Discover, even though it was supposed to. It didn't work with a prepaid Visa, my Crypto.com Visa, so ended up using a regular non-affiliated Visa card, and the orders went through just fine. So yeah, here's the Bitcoin Merch listing, and they don't even have but the one single picture so far, and they do just give a really quick specs on this thing. So yeah, there's the Bitcoin Merch listing for that. Let's look at the Nano S real quick. Nano 3S rather. Right here. So the price for this guy is $449.99. And so the one good thing is that that's the all-included price, right? You're not going to pay extra shipping or anything like that. And they do take PayPal, whereas nowhere else, none of these other options that I am aware of take PayPal. So if PayPal is your thing, this is probably your way to go about it. And PayPal, I love PayPal personally because it does protect me as the buyer. So I'm a big fan. So yeah, there's the Bitcoin Merch. I'll make sure to post the different places to buy, especially these three main sources that I'm very familiar with and that I trust. Let's look at the Jingle Mining listing. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm just not so sure how well they do on this item, but we're going to take a look. Okay, so yeah, I jumped over into Jingle Mining, and right on the very top of their screen, newly launched, and that's what they're advertising first and foremost. So let's go look at the products. We'll go over to the Canaan series, and right there, the first one that they have listed is the Mini 3, and then the Nano 3S. So they actually have them at the $899 and the $249, which is the MSRP. Now, are you going to pay a lot of extra for... This says shipping in March, which is interesting. So that's a red flag for me right off the bat. This says shipping in March, whereas the Indiegogo is still shipping in February, and so are the other two. But the good thing about Jingle Mining is you can use ETH, USDC coin. You can use a couple other cryptocurrencies to pay for your device. So if you're trying to pay with crypto, you may need to explore one of these other options, because you're not going to do it on Indiegogo, obviously. So yeah, that's something also to keep in mind. Now let's look at the Nano 3S. And yeah, it's the same setup. It says shipping in March, doesn't say shipping in February. Has the EU and the US standard, and again, you can use CoinPal to use different forms of cryptocurrency to pay. So yeah, there it is. It's a pretty amazing device that provides a lot of utility. Is it worth the cost? Not financial advice, and it depends on your financial situation. Never put yourself in a financial hardship just to buy some FOMO device that you're like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. You may never make your money back. You may make way more than your money back. Hardware like this, if it's longevity, you could mine on it, and then next year, who knows what the crypto market is, you could sell it for more than you paid a year later and basically pocketed all the BTC that you mined the whole time, and someday cash it in, hodl it. So many different options, but so yeah, it's really dependent on you and your situation. Me personally, I've picked up both the Mini 3 and the Nano 3S. Both of them are ordered with an early batch through Indiegogo. Feel free to explore one of these other options. Make sure to comment down below, tell me what you think. I'm going to pop over and let's close this thing out. Let's go. Okay, so there it is. Those are the two new Nanos, the two new devices from Avalon. The Nano 3S, of course, it does 6 terahashes instead of this puny one that only does 4 terahash, but it does it on the same watts. So 6 terahash on 140 watts, and it comes with the power supply when you buy it this time. Before, you had to actually select to buy the power supply, and a lot of people didn't, and then they had to fight the battle of trying to find a good power supply that would run it accurately, and that was a big issue. Then, of course, the newcomer. This one is super interesting to me. Of course, I've ordered one of each because I have to have these. I have to test them. I have to, as soon as get them in my hands as soon as I can, so that I can make content and show you about all the cool features and whether or not you know, are worth it or not. So the second and newest is the Avalon Mini 3. It's not a Nano, it's a Mini, Avalon Mini 3. And then it has some pretty crazy nice specs on this thing. So it's designed like a baseboard heater. Now, real quick, the specs on the new Mini 3, the heater, it's actually way bigger than I had assumed. I went into the main site, which we'll look at that in our remote session, but the main site has it listed in US terms as 30 inches long. So that's a pretty hefty device. 30 inches long, 8.5 inches tall, so about that tall, and then 4 inches deep, 4 inches wide, which 4 inches wide. So yeah, 30 inches. That's interesting. That baseboard heater, it's not some little item. The weight on it is actually 18.5 pounds, 18.4 pounds. So yeah, this thing is a pretty chunky device. So at that size, put in 800 watts into it at 37.5 terahash, I bet that thing will put out a great deal of heat. I guess time will tell until we get it in our hands, but just wanted to get those specs right. Let's go. And they also don't tell you the different hash rate modes. Let's go over the hash rate on both the Nano S and the Mini 3. So first and foremost, the Mini 3 it's advertised as 37.5 terahashes on the SHA-256 algorithm, which is the Bitcoin algorithm. It's the Bitcoin Cash. It's a number of other coins that have been offshoots from Bitcoin. Yeah, you can mine any of those on any of these three devices, including the Nano. But the difference here, and the big difference, 37.5 terahash on 800 watts, huge step up from this 140 watt device. A miracle in the cold winter, the charm of blockchain. So it's got the charm of mining Bitcoin, but its main purpose is to provide heat, which let's face it, you're not buying this for the main purpose of providing heat. You may be buying it for heat and for the possibility of earning Bitcoin or other crypto, but you're not buying it just for the heat. So the one thing is 37.5 terahash on 800 watts. That, in my electric terms, would cost me about $2 a day to run, but it would also make about $2 a day of crypto, which you're like, wait, Altered, you're not going to be making anything. You're not going to be making any profits. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your electric costs. I'm running 12 cents per kilowatt hour. It actually would make, I don't know, 15 cents a day profit at my current, as everything is right this snapshot of time, which we know doesn't work in the crypto world. But what if you're mining, you're using it to provide heat, because that's harder to quantify. You're cutting down on your heating bill, your gas, your electric bill, you're cutting that part where you're heating the home down by using this item, but then you're also earning the Bitcoin. So is it really only earning $2 a day and costing you $2 a day, or did you save 50 cents a day that you would have been using on your heating bill? And so now you made 50 cents profit per day. And that's if at the current market. What if you're just mining this and you're holding it and 10 years down the road, you cash this thing in and you just made $15,000 because you saved everything you mined for a year. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. So, and again, it doesn't go into the specifics on the different settings on the low, the medium, the high. The high we know is 37.5 at 800 watts, but what about the medium mode? What about the low power mode? Is it 500 watts, 20 terahash? So that's some things to consider. The Nano S, again, it's same situation. It's just the big brother to this guy with new enhanced features. It boasts 6 terahash on 140 watts instead of just 4 terahash. And some of the new features on it, it has an upgraded LED screen. It has a USB port, can be ran off of Wi-Fi or LAN access, which is interesting because it's using a USB. So I'm not sure if that means you need to, if it only has the USB and you need an adapter, but then if you use a USB adapter, you could direct plug Ethernet. And of course, if you're directly plugged into the Ethernet, you're gonna have better connection and better chance of hitting blocks. So yeah, that's something that we'll have to investigate once we get one of these in hand. The size, the specs, the weight, and everything are very similar to this model. And so yeah, that's the two new options. Now let's talk about the cost, because that's what's important, and then where you can get it. And we have a few different options as to where we can buy it. So the cost, first and foremost, I ordered straight from Indiegogo, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's a crowdsourcing site. Which is like a crowdfunding. They put different projects up, they get backing. It's kind of like you get the pre-orders, they get the money, they then use that money to start manufacturing. Very common practice for a lot of different tech projects. It's actually how this one was launched before it started being sent out to other distributors. So the cost on the Nano S, let's talk about it. The Nano S, in US dollars as of today, if you get in on the current batch, because that's how they also run. Every time one batch sells out, the date pushes back and it costs a little more. So early adopters usually get a better price and they get them in hand quicker. So the full cost with power supply on the Nano 3S is $252 USD. That includes the power supply, but does not include shipping or any additional fees. So that's something to keep in mind. $252 plus shipping and fees. And I'll tell you how much that is exactly in just a minute. Then the Avalon Mini 3, the baseboard heater, it is $900 US plus shipping and fees. So let's talk about how much I actually paid for each of those, and then I'll tell you some alternate places that you can buy these. Okay, so for the big boy, the more important one, the Mini 3. The Mini 3, I paid 1,426 SGD. They always send the emails out in SGD because that's the native currency, the Singapore dollars. That equates to about $1,040. That counted the shipping, which was kind of high, 200 SGD. Again, you'd have to use the calculator to figure that out. What the USD to SGD, I think it's like 74 cents on the dollar, give or take. So equate, I don't know, $150 for shipping. Seems like a lot, but so yeah, we paid a total of $1,042 for the all included for the Avalon Mini 3 ship to door. The Nano S, we paid the Nano S, counting fees and shipping, we paid $288 total. That includes the power supply, the Nano S, Nano 3S unit, and of course any additional taxes and fees. That's two-door, $288. So yeah, these are both ordered. They're en route. We ordered them both from Indiegogo. We will be also working with a couple other companies to get these, a couple trusted companies that I also deal with. I'll put links down in the description. They already have them listed on their sites. Their prices will be a little more upfront, but their service, usually, for me, at least in my experience, of course, do your own research, has been really pretty good for me. Any kind of issues or anything like that, shipping times, in-hand deliveries, any kind of fees and hidden fees are pretty much wiped away with these two. And it's number one, Bitcoin merch. We've done really well with them. They have them listed. We'll show you those, of course. And then also Mineshop.eu. Ran by Guntis, great company, upright company, never had a single issue with them. Of course, if you've had an issue with either of these, make sure to share down in the comments. I'd love to hear any kind of negatives that you've had dealing with these companies so that, that we can share what our experience is so that we can be better off as a whole. So yeah, there's the two new products, and man, I am excited for both of these. I hope that I really get them in hand early. I was super early on the drop. As soon as I saw them post up on the site, I was one of the first 5 on the Nano S, or the Nano Mini, and I think I was in the first 25 on the Nano 3S. So I'm hoping to get these as soon as like early February, but it could be as late as the end of February. And of course, the later as the time goes, the less we're going to need these nice heaters, because then the weather will start breaking and we'll start getting into spring. So I'm really hoping these come sooner rather than later, and we can, heat our house and we can crank these things up and we can make content on them and we can tell you how good they work. One quick aspect I didn't mention with the Mini is that when I was saying that it earns $2 a day, that's because we can actually pool mine. We can pool mine. It does enough hash rate that it's a viable pool mining device. Now, the Nano S and the Nano, in my opinion, are still solo miners. Yes, the Nano S has jumped clear up to 6 terahash, but I am not interested in mining pennies a day worth of crypto. I am interested in trying to get blocks, to hit big blocks. Even if it's a smaller cap coin like Bitcoin Cash, I would really rather try to get that kind of block rather than to get those pennies a day, and then I'll either yell yippee yippee someday, or I'll just have wasted a lot of power over a long time period. So again, make sure to comment down below. Tell me what you think of these new devices. Tell me if you're interested, if you're buying, if you use either of my referral links for Mineshop.eu or Bitcoin merch, I do get a really small kickback. Full disclosure, these aren't sponsored videos. I've actually reached out to Canaan prior to launch because I already knew that these things were coming out, and I got no response. I got snubbed. So it is what it is. It's not sponsored. These are my own opinions. These are things I'm buying. These are things I'm sharing with you, and I think they're really cool devices, and they're a really cool step in the right direction for crypto mining, and especially for small home miners. They're providing additional utility with the heat. So yeah, there you go. Before we close out, make sure to enter in the giveaway down in the comments below. If you're new to mining, you need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. There's always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride. Psh